All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share screen, and then I'm hoping, if I can do this correctly, I'm going to do some access into my back office to show you guys some of the things with preferred placement and volume and that sort of thing. So hopefully that'll be a good visual for you guys. So let me pull up the slides. All right. All right, so tonight I was actually going to talk about 3 different things, but I decided to shorten it to 2, and then our last, on the 29th, I want to do kind of a Success Club rally, Success Club non-negotiable call on kind of, you know, we would have 3 days left in the month, so how we can make Success Club a non-negotiable. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in 2 weeks. But tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about some things with expanding your market and getting to Emerald, and why Emerald should be, in a sense, non-negotiable, and it should be something that you should make a priority in your business from day one. And so I'll go into detail about why that is. I wanted to do some quick announcements. For those of you that have been watching all of the Success Club trip cruise pictures and announcements and all of that, I'm super jealous of everybody. I know, like Nina and our other coach Tammy's on there. It looks like they're having a fabulous time. So I'm very excited for Punta Cana next year, and I'm hoping that a lot more coaches will be there with us next year. So a couple things that they announced yesterday. In May, they are going to be coming out with a new flavor of the Beachbody Performance Recover. So it's going to be very similar to Results in Recovery, which was kind of early on P90X. It was, again, an orange flavor. And a lot of people were liking that sort of flavor. So they decided to come out with the same sort of Recover that they're using now, but it's just a different flavor. So like I said, that's going to be out in May of 2016, so a couple months before Summit. And there are going to be sampler kits for the same price of $19.95. So like how we have the Energize and the Hydrate and all those in sample packs, we can get this as well in sample packs for people to try. And here are just some fun facts about the Recover for people that want to know more about the orange flavor and just want to know about Recover in general. So you can also read about this in the FAQ in your back office. I'm often referring our coaches there because that's where you can get all your answers. This FAQ is 2419, and it'll just kind of go over questions like how much protein is in Recover, different carbohydrates, calories, that sort of thing. So that was one of the announcements. And like I said, that's going to be coming in May of 2016. So you'll probably be seeing more announcements with that as it gets closer. And then, of course, there is a new program that is going to be released, Summit of 2016, so in a couple of months. I don't know if you guys checked out the video. Of course, it was very entertaining watching Carl announce this, but it is going to be a kind of country line dancing 30-minute workout. Autumn Calabrese is the trainer for this workout. So she's going to be incorporating kind of country style line dancing and incorporating the portion control containers as well to follow with the nutrition plan. And then here's just some information about kind of the email collector and where you can find information on this new program in your FAQ. I'm interested to see how this program will be. I loved size. I don't know how the market's going to be with this, but I know that there's a lot of people that love dancing and love to dance as their workout. So I know that that would be the market to hit that. So I'm interested to see how we do with that. So this is just a little flyer thing that I posted that the release of this will be at Summit. You can purchase it at Summit if you're going, and it'll probably be released a few hours later in the back office for those that aren't going to be there. Okay, so now to the meat of our call. The first topic that I wanted to talk about is expanding your market. So I wanted to talk a little bit about social circles and what a social circle is. So I was actually listening to another call a couple weeks ago from another elite coach, and she was talking about this on her team call, and it really kind of set in with me on how I can branch out and expand to more people, whether it's in the community or even people that I just haven't thought of yet. So what is a social circle? So a social circle is pretty much any group, work, school, place, person, event, or any activity that you may be a part of. Now, this could be a social circle that you were a part of in the past, maybe a social circle that you're currently doing. But when I get a lot of people asking me, I've run out of people to talk to. I've run out of friends on Facebook. I really try to have them do some sort of this activity where they really think about everything that they've done, whether it's, maybe they did some sort of tennis or cheerleading or some sort of activity in high school. And maybe they can think about friends or people that they connected with in that circle of people. And so, maybe you're friends with them on Facebook, but haven't maybe started a new conversation with them or checked in with them in a long time. And that kind of helps set up a conversation. So this social circle, you're thinking about your day, you're thinking about who you come in contact with. So this could be anybody, your hairstylist, your postman, your nail technician, somebody at the gym, somebody that you're talking to at the grocery store. Like I said, think about your past jobs, your schooling, events, camps, churches, groups where you may have interacted and met people that you may already be friends with. Okay. Sorry, this picture came out a little blurry, but this kind of shows you a map of what a social circle or social bubble would look like. So you'll see here, this bubble is people from high school, people from college, people from your job, your neighbors, kids, school, and this is just kind of a, yours could look completely different. It could maybe have this and more. So what you would do with these bubbles is you would start out and create a bubble, let's say college. Within that bubble, you would find one person that you are friends with on social media that you went to college with. And, this may be somebody that you have not even started a conversation with, you've not formed, you've not said anything in regards to Beachbody or connecting with them. So what do? So you would message this person, very short and sweet. You say something maybe like this. Hey, it's been a really long time since we last chatted. I happened to see your name pop up on my newsfeed and got me thinking of you. I would love to catch up, talk to you soon, or maybe ask them a question. Maybe you see that they're living in a different state now, or they have children. So asking maybe, where are you living now, to engage them. And I always encourage your conversations to end with a question to hopefully engage them and have them respond to you. What I would also do is go to their page, start liking and commenting things to show that you're interested in them and what they're doing in their life now. And then from there, this is where it starts to expand. From that particular person, that one person, you want to extend the circle. So you want to find maybe 3 people on their page that you may have mutual friends with, or that you may know but are not friends with at the current time, and send them a message. Or I would say first send them a Facebook friend request. And then the goal is to repeat this step each day with each of these bubbles. So you're going to do this with college. You're going to do this with your neighbors, with school, with maybe hobbies that your kids are doing. By the end of the week, if you have done this for 3 people, you would have messaged and added over 50 people to your network. So this is kind of a great tool or activity for you to expand if you've kind of gotten to a point where you're not really sure who else to add. Maybe break it down into different areas of your life And so that's where I'm getting it with social bubbles, your neighbors, your coworkers, people from your high school, people from college, and start branching out that way. I say 3 people, but if this is a business that you are looking to really expand and grow, maybe bump it to 5 every day. Or if you're feeling very motivated, bump it to 10. It all depends on how comfortable you feel and how many people you're looking to engage with on a daily basis. So after you start doing this, it's important to, yes, keep track of who you're messaging and when you're doing it. So having that list or tracker to follow. So it could be anything. It could be a pen and paper. It could be your business activity tracker. It could be your note card system. But making sure when you're doing these social bubbles that you're keeping track of who you're messaging and who you're responding to each and every day. So with these particular people for a few weeks, again, you should be commenting and liking their pictures and posts to show them that you're paying attention to what they're doing. And then after you, of course, are engaging them in conversation, invite them to your challenge, invite them to an accountability group that you're doing. Of course, you're going to get no's. That's part of it. If they say yes, great, add them to your group. If not, I encourage you, I know it's hard, but try not to take it personal. I think we all, and I can sit here and say that I've gotten probably over 60 no's in the past 3 weeks. I've been inviting like crazy, but I still get no's and I still get objections, and it's all part of the process. So what you would do if they say no is rotate them down. Let's say rotate them down, and then you want to check in back with them in a month or so just to see how they're doing. You may not invite them again, but just to check in and, just to let them know that you're thinking of them. The other thing I would recommend is maybe in this conversation, they're maybe telling you that right now is not a good time. Maybe they're moving, or maybe they're getting ready to have a baby, or something in their life is a little hectic right now and they're just not ready right now. So what I would do is make an alert in your calendar or your phone, your planner, whatever you do to keep yourself organized, and make a note of that this person, you want to check back with this person in, let's say they'd be settled down in 4 months, or, they're having a baby. So you're probably not going to check back in with them until after they have the baby. So, but keeping a note of that and that conversation is going to allow you not to forget about that person that you talked to maybe 5 months ago. Okay. So I hope that made sense. Well, I'll open up for some questions after I go through this next piece. But my next piece that I wanted to talk about is the importance of Emerald, and why it's so important to, sorry, it's really hard to keep track because I keep looking at Kristen's cute kids on the phone. So why is getting to Emerald so important and should be just like hitting Success Club every single month? So getting to Emerald is basically, it's a measure of your success, and it determines your level in the compensation plan of Beachbody. Once you hit Emerald, you start receiving, it's $14 every team cycle that you have. So Emerald activates essentially your business, because before you're even Emerald, really all you're getting is commissions. Not until you hit Emerald is when you can really start getting those team cycles. And as an Emerald coach, you can get up to $250 a week in team cycle bonus. Now, of course, as you get higher up and you start adding more to your team, that only grows. So for those of you that don't know what an Emerald coach is, I know most of you do, but if the girls are going to catch the recording, there are some of them that may not know exactly how to get to Emerald. So what an Emerald coach is you are sponsoring 2 coaches, one on your left leg and one on your right, with a minimum of 50 PV, which means personal volume. And so PV is, if you go into your back office and you look at different products and different programs that Beachbody offers, everything has PV to it. So if you order a challenge pack, or if somebody orders a challenge pack, you get PV, and so do they, or as the coach gets PV. So that is how you get Emerald. So let's say you're an active coach and you say, you know what, I'm signing up my spouse, because I can tell you now, most of us have signed up our spouse, and that is actually the first person that I signed up as a coach. I knew Emerald was a goal of mine, and I wanted to get there quickly. So I signed up Chris, and what I did initially was I ordered packets of Shakeology, because I was getting a lot of people that were interested in Shakeology and wanting to try it. So I used those packets as samples. So I signed him up, and I actually don't remember who my second coach was. I don't believe they are a coach anymore, but I believe it was a friend or a family friend of some sort. So the goal is to get 2 coaches that are maybe Shakeology Home Direct discount coaches. And that way you can start not only building your business, you're activating those team cycles, which is ultimately going to get you that residual income. Building your business to Emerald builds credibility for you and your team. It also builds your confidence. So I actually have been really loving these team challenges, these team promotions that we've been doing with our posts. And I wanted to do something fun with some of the coaches that are so close to hitting Emerald. And there's so many coaches in our downline that have one coach, or maybe they have 2 coaches and one is inactive. So I wanted to do this team promotion where every coach in our downline who advances to Emerald by next Wednesday, and again, I'm saying next Wednesday because that is when our kind of business ends. So tomorrow will be the end of business, but I'm giving you guys till next Wednesday. And whoever does this will receive, of course, public recognition of the advancement and are going to be entered to win a prize. So what I would recommend you doing is reach out to your upline, your upline coach. And when you do advance, because I know some of us, they're not directly in my personally sponsored, so I may not be able to see them right away. Let them know, and I will enter you guys in a prize, and I will probably do the drawing next Thursday. So that is what I am going to be offering. This is just a quick visual of, very simply, the layout and the downline of what an Emerald coach looks like. This is you're an active coach. You have at least 50 personal volume. And then you have one coach on your left and one coach on your right that are both active with 50 PV. Okay, so what does Emerald mean, or what does it mean to you? Well, it means, I know for me, when I first became an Emerald coach, it definitely boosted my confidence. It gave me some credibility into what I was doing as a coach and helping others see the potential, not only in this business, but the program, Shakeology, and what it had done for me physically. So not only that, but it also leads to the residual income as you start getting team cycles. It gives you that momentum for the next step. So once you hit that accomplishment of Emerald, you start to think about other goals and other things that you want for yourself. So maybe that next goal is to get to Ruby or to get to Diamond. And I also think that once you hit Emerald, it means that you're truly committed in this and you want to continue to change more lives. Okay, so I'm going to go over this slide, and then I'm going to open up my back office to show you guys preferred placement and kind of what your downline genealogy would look like as an Emerald. So for those of you that are shooting for Emerald, who should your first 2 coaches be, or who should the people that you're looking at to get signed under your team? So for me, I always start with my challengers. My challengers are the ones that are consistently, they have seen success in the programs, they have seen success in drinking Shakeology on a regular basis, and they want to continue. Well, what better way to continue and just to be a discount coach, because they're getting 25% off all the programs, they're getting 25% off Shakeology. So that's usually where I get the majority of my coaches first off. What I would also do is make a list of people who you think would make great coaches. Maybe people that are already into health and fitness, or maybe you see people on your newsfeed that are just constantly struggling living paycheck to paycheck, constantly struggling in areas of their life that you feel would be beneficial to them, and sharing with them this opportunity. Start thinking about those customers of yours that are approaching that 30-day mark for Home Direct. As you know, when somebody buys a 21-day, or I say 21-day because it's usually the challenge pack that is most popular. When somebody buys a challenge pack, I always make a note on my whiteboard of when they ordered it, because 2 weeks prior to that, the next month, I email them or I message them and I let them know that on such and such date, their Shakeology will be coming out again, and if they see themselves continuing. If so, that is when I bring up the discount and getting them signed up as a discount coach. So that is definitely another option for all of those customers that are continuing to drink Shakeology and wanting to get a discount. That is the best way to do it. Start thinking about, immediate family, friends, spouses, parents, anybody that you know that would benefit from maybe making a change in their life and hoping that they can see the benefit in what you're doing. So start thinking about people like that in your social network. And the key to growing your team, in my opinion, is to start with challenge groups. So you should always be running or being involved in a challenge group. If you're maybe running one with somebody on your team, making sure you're active in it, making sure you're paying attention to the people that are participating, because those are the people that are going to make the best coaches in the long run. Okay, so let me stop sharing this piece because I want to go into my back office and show you guys a couple things. All right. Good. Okay. So I'm already in my back office here, and I can go show you like my home page here. If it works, there we go. Okay. So you guys probably all recognize this. This is the back office where you can see your Success Club points and, what rank you are. All right, I'm going to actually move over here real fast. My battery's about to die and I don't want to lose you guys. So if you can just bear with me for 1 second and I will plug in my computer here. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so let me see here. All right, so you're going to go to look at my preferred placement. If you are somebody that is looking to get to Emerald, you're going to hit My Business, My Preferred Placement. All right, and you're going to see here automatic placement or set preferred placement. I usually recommend set preferred placement. That way you can, you have control of where you're putting coaches. So right here you see I have position for left. I've been kind of switching back and forth. Actually, currently right now I am putting most of my coaches in my second center. So, but this allows you to set kind of where you are with your preferred placement. So that is what I would make sure that you do when you go in, because that way when you have an Emerald coach, all right, why is that not working? Okay. When you have an emerald coach, you want to have a coach on your left and a coach on your right. So you want to make sure your preferred placement is set up. So that is how you do that. And then I wanted to quickly show you guys volume and kind of give you an understanding of weak and strong. So I don't know if you guys can see this here, but my left leg is my weak leg and my right leg is my strong leg. And as you can see, my right leg pretty much builds on its own. So I have a very strong right leg. I have like Jen Greenberg over there. Scotty Hobbs is over there. So I don't really have to do anything with that strong leg. My goal is to build that weak leg so I can cycle more. So as an Emerald coach, you're going to have coaches on your left and coaches on your right, and you're going to start building that team cycle. So this just gives you an idea. And if you're not sure what is your weak leg and what's your strong leg, reach out to me. We can kind of look at your downline together and go through exactly what is which, because everybody's is different. I know some of my coaches are flip-flop from me. So it all depends on where you're placed. I don't usually look very much at the graphical genealogy. It actually still kind of confuses me. I just focus on my sponsorship drill down. But this is kind of just shows you, you're going to see people in your genealogy that are not your coaches. And so that's where I don't want people to get confused.